Hi, and welcome to today's A2B's Athlete Feature. Today we have a very special guest. You may have heard of him before, or you may have seen some of the things he's been doing off the football field, but I'll let him introduce himself. So, who are you and what is your story?
I'm Stefan Mork, a 27-year-old male living over in Japan. I play football, and normally I guess I would have probably said I am a footballer, but in the last few years I've changed that to kind of, I guess, mirror what I'm doing off the field, and that I'm a person first and play football as I guess as a job at the moment. So
Awesome. Yeah, you've got an amazing story. So, if you want to hear more about it, you'll have to Google it because this is quick fire questioning. But um, I would love to know um, have you had something outside of sport that you have been pursuing?
yeah, so 3 years ago I started my own business, the Inner Game Journals, and it's something that's been growing ever since. It's I guess a journal athlete performance business, which has now gone into I think fitness enthusiasts, youth performance workshops, and different things that I'm looking to come out with as well. So what started as a simple product has now I guess developed into a range of different things.
Personally, I have heard of this before, so it's doing an amazing job out there, and I have many friends that use it. But I have a bit of a trifecta question for you. So, A, what made you want to pursue something outside of sport? B, what made you think, yes, it's the Inner Game Journal that I'm going to pursue? And C, once you realized that you wanted to pursue that, how did you actually make it happen? How did it come to life?
Yeah. I'll try and answer as best as I can. I think I guess the first one was since I became a professional footballer, I was just almost turning 17, so 16 and 10 months when I got my first contract, and actually had to leave school at the AIS. I didn't finish high school, but the PFA were always really big on, which is a professional football association, really big on having something outside of sport. It improves your performance, but also it sets you up for when you do retire or if you get an injury or don't get another contract. And probably I spent 3 or 4 years, neglecting that. And then I got to a point where I thought, you know what, I do need something different and I need to, try something else. And my wife was quite big on having something outside of sport, and the journal was something that I was doing myself. And after a few teammates saw it, that's kind of when the idea sparked about, oh well, maybe I can turn this into a business, and if they like it, then why wouldn't every athlete in Australia like it? It's a simple tool that can I guess help your performance, and then I kind of went from there. And COVID came around at a bad time, obviously for everyone when it did come, but for me it was kind of a blessing in disguise where the opportunity arose from having a lot more spare time. So I kind of created a rough business plan, understood how I'm going to set up a website, speaking to manufacturers, the pricing, all of those, I guess, boring things. But you need to do those to run a business. And once I kind of had that down packed, and I thought, all right, great, I've got the idea, I've got how I can do it, and now I need to implement it. And then it's kind of now been about learning as I go, and that's probably been the best thing about being an athlete. I think we do have spare time in the afternoon, and being able to connect to different athletes has been a great thing as well, whether through Instagram or different connections, reaching out to different athletes who would be interested in it, but also now different organizations in schools and clubs. And it's been pretty cool to I guess grow my network of people, but also be able to impact the lives of younger kids who are, I guess, in a situation similar to me where they want to be a professional athlete, and I'm passing on my knowledge to help them, and then giving them hopefully a pretty handy tool as well to improve their on and off the field.
100%. No, it's amazing framework and pathway that you give everyone. So, thank you for everything you've done so far. Um, I have a question that's unscripted, but you sparked something that when you were speaking about the PFA encouraging you do to have awareness of life after sport. But you said there was a couple year period where you were like, no, I'm not listening, even though this you're telling me to do this, it's valuable information, but no, I'm not listening. What do you think? The reason why I'm asking this question is because I feel like personally I can relate to that as well, but I feel like a lot of our audience will be listening being in those shoes right now. So, what do you think you would tell your younger self if you could around that information? Like, what would you do to shake your younger self?
Yeah, good question. I think, to be honest, I wouldn't change anything, but I would make sure, and for any other young athletes that are out there, I think, look into the different short courses they offer. You don't need to do a uni course. You don't need to, go to TAFE, but, start to kind of ask yourself questions that is going to make you think a little bit more about what your interests are. Because, when I was 17, 18, 19, all I wanted to do was play football, and I was thinking I'm going to be the best footballer, and that's all my focus was on. So I didn't want to waste my time on anything else that was going to cause me pressure. Besides that, it was just playing FIFA and going to cafes in the afternoon, which I think is an important part of growing up. But when they do offer these short courses, or they have someone come in and talk, actually, listen to what they're saying, because they're going to give you some good wisdom. And then ask yourself those questions: what are you interested in? And the PFA, or different sports organizations, the players union, is there to help you. So use them as much as you can while you're playing, because everybody said the same thing: it's best to set something up while you're still playing. And that's what I've really tried to do. And I didn't do it for the first 4 years, but here I am at 27 with now a business that's hopefully going to be able to be something that I can go into post career.
No, that's great. Thank you for sharing. Now, final question, and maybe a little bit of overlap from the last one, but what advice would you give your younger self or another athlete who finds themselves in similar shoes?
I think, yes, quite similar to what I said before. But the most important thing is just to really enjoy the ride, and the ups and downs that will come with sport are probably more frequent than daily life. But you're probably playing this sport because you love it and you enjoy it, and that was the first reason why you started playing. And that's the message I try and tell myself every day, even after a poor performance. And I think the world's going to end. It doesn't. The sun still comes up, and football's still there, and I can still enjoy it. And that's really what I've tried to do. And I guess then the second part to that is not be so self-consumed, and to try and also pass on that advice to younger players and help teammates. And I've noticed massively when I do those two things, when I'm enjoying it, but also when I'm not just worried about my own performance, I tend to play better myself, but I enjoy it as well. So I think it's really important to get out your own head, is to help other teammates, whether it's players in your team, or even younger athletes, and enjoy it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time today.
No worries. Thanks so much, Steph.